Really excited to be here to chat with you today about my experience with Better Impact. I have been using Better Impact for 20 years now across, as it says, across multiple organisations. I've been with the Brotherhood of St Laurence for 18 months now. So we have more than 54 programs across about 54 roles, across 49 programs. 22 of those programs are op shops and they only hold 2 of those roles. So we have 52 roles across 20 odd programs at BSL. Every single team had their own spreadsheet. I estimate that we had approximately 50 spreadsheets across the whole organisation. That caused a lot of drama. It caused a lot of extra expense. So we were sending things out to people who were no longer volunteers, who were returning mail to us. We were communicating with people and getting, feedback back, I don't work for this place anymore. It was also a lot of paper. We have many different variations of application forms, many different variations of volunteer agreements and confidentiality forms, many different training records that exist, and we had no ability to do things like provide feedback for audits when we were audited at different periods in time, and it was really difficult for people to manage the amount of paper. And because we had things happening in lots of different processes, we would have things like our team would assume someone hadn't been approved to volunteer and would remove them from our database. They hadn't done a police check, they hadn't done the required training and induction, only to find out down the track that they actually had been volunteering. So we weren't compliant in a lot of areas as well, but we were also unable to really share the value that volunteers contributed to the organisation and the impact. So there were lots of risks and lots of gaps. So a little bit about how we ended up with Better Impact. In a health service prior to Austin, we were using Volgistics. It was the first time I'd ever used volunteer management system, and it was great, but there were also lots of things that were really unhelpful about Volgistics as well. We really needed to look at what we needed or wanted the system to do. It's really about making sure that those tasks that you're finding challenging, overcomplicated, duplicated, time-consuming, it's making sure that those key tasks are actually manageable within the volunteer management system. And it's also really important to look at what's included in the costs. One of the things that frustrated me about Volgistics, but I absolutely love about Better Impact, is Volgistics charge, I think it's for every administrator over 2 or 3 administrators, and whereas in Better Impact you aren't charged for extra administrators. Certainly when we were looking at such a large enterprise account here at Better Impact BSL, and knowing how many staff we intended to get on board the system, it would have been an astronomical cost for us to go with a volunteer management system that required us to pay extra for every administrator. The other fantastic thing about Better Impact is that the support is there 24/7. Volgistics provide, and I'm not here to bag Volgistics, it's just the only one I remember. Just ask these questions of any VMS you're looking at. The support provided by Volgistics is business hours in the United States, Monday to Friday. Because Better Impact have consultants right across the world, you can be working at 11 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the morning or over the weekend, and it's almost guaranteed someone will be online to be able to answer your questions. How much time we are saving? So much time. Oh my God, I wish that I timed it. I wish I could measure it. As it says here, we are likely saving up to a week a month on reporting to start with. We are shaving weeks off onboarding for volunteers. We are literally able to do everything online, everything's contained, volunteers can see everything in their profile. We are literally shaving weeks off the time it takes volunteers to be onboarded. And then there's all the little things. So I use mail merge a lot to personalise my email. So being able to do all of that within Better Impact saves a lot of time. I'm really proud to say that, this has probably been one of the biggest outcomes of implementing Better Impact at BSL. Prior to me starting here 18 months ago, the volunteer services team never spoke to volunteers. We didn't go and see them, and we didn't spend any time with our programs. One of the things that we've been able to do is really improve our communication with volunteers. So we now have time to go out to our programs, to spend time with volunteers. We've been able to send more regular newsletters. We've been able to collect stories. There's a whole bunch of things we've been able to do, and people know who we are now.